Shane Watson here from Boxing Live. I'm lucky enough to be joined by Dean Whyte. How are you doing?
How you doing, man? How you doing? Good, good, good.
Yeah, good. Very hot here today.
It is.
I might have to touch baby off a minute, but
Yeah, you look smart though. Don't worry, man. You'll enjoy the hotness.
Yeah, nah. Do you know what? Losing a bit of weight, but that's always good. But obviously, got a big fight night ahead of Saturday night.
Listen, we've got a good stacked card on Saturday night, man. There's a lot of good fighters on the bill.
There's going to be a lot of scraps for sure as well.
I'm hoping we're going to see some good knockouts also.
Yeah. I want to speak to you first. I know he's obviously a close friend of yours and Dylan's as well. When we were speaking about him earlier, Jay Pastor Harding Jr.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a big fight night for him in the sense that he's fighting in a big arena on a big show. But when I was speaking to Dylan earlier, he was saying he can't get ahead of himself. Like he's got a lot of big nights ahead of him. Like this is just a start.
Yeah.
So he can't like live it as a dream too much, is what he was saying.
Exactly. And I was just saying that. I was echoing that in an IFL interview. I think he just needs to go and enjoy the occasion. This is first of many. I just hope he goes out there and puts on a good performance and tries to be mature and patient. Because, like I said, the guy he's facing, I'm sure ain't going to be anyone too great. It's down to him to go out there and dictate and set the pace and get a good win on Saturday night, because, you know, you want to impress as well, because you want people to want you to come back and they want to see, you know, come back to see you fight.
Yeah.
So I think, like Dill said, he shouldn't put too much pressure on himself. And I think he's trained hard, he's in tremendous shape. So I think he'll go out there and do a good job. If he gets a knockout, added bonus. But don't put too much pressure on it.
When I spoke to him before, he always says, like, it shows that you can go to an all-time low and you can turn it around and have good things for yourself. Do you think it's important we have more people in boxing that open up and stuff like that, so it inspires other people? Who
No, of course. Listen, I think it's inspired a lot of this newer generation to want to be fighters when they see the likes of John Harding Jr., Richard Riakpor's, Dillian Whyte's. You know, these guys coming through who have come from a past of adversity. So I think it's good when people see that and they can understand the journey and where you've come from, and they can see that you're trying to make a positive step forward to a brighter future. So those, you know, anywhere there's a story like that, people kind of can, what's the word I'm looking for? They can kind of gravitate to and understand and say, have compassion for. So yeah, it's definitely good, because he's had a hard time coming up, and now, like he says, this is a wonderment for him to be here and it's a dream. But like Dill says, he can't sit in the past thinking about that, because he could be, you know, come unstuck.
Also, I want to speak a bit more your management career is going. Because I know you recently announced Shakan Pitters as one of your
Shakan Pitters. So Shakan, I've gone into a team with Shakan's management, which is John Pegg and his trainer, which is Paul Soggy. So, you know, I'm like a co-manager, advisor of such. And trying to bring some light to, you know, Shakan. He's a wonderful talent. He's a bloody freak of nature. 6'6" as a light heavyweight and in tremendous shape. So, you know, I'm trying to just kind of get a bit more exposure, get the media on him, trying to see if we can get him on some fantastic bills and give him the nights like this as well. So that's what we're working on now. So at the minute, he's out on May the 10th on the Ultimate Boxer, is it? So, you know, he's probably got, I think he's got a tough night there. So I think he's going to fight someone. Hopefully we'll give him the rounds, what he's looking for. If we can get a few rounds out of him, because at the minute, he's not getting the rounds, you know. But yeah, he's someone. And there's a few other guys I'm looking at the minute. So, you know, I'm just slowly working and trying to, you know, pick the right guys to try and work and develop with, because, you know, this is a journey. So, you know, you pick a right person who will listen and kind of learn and take advice well, and we move forward and try and see if we can build something together.
Is this more of a career for you, or do you do it as a hobby, like?
Yeah, I'd like to build it as, you know, a career where I'm getting fighters, and you know, this is what I'll try. I love boxing. You know, I like doing the media stuff. I like coaching these guys, because I come from the same aspect with my bro. When I you know, I give him. I was like, you know, one of the coaches there, where I'd give him advice in the corner, and you know, we trained together as sparring partners, ran and did everything together. So I've always given him advice, but I'd give him advice throughout life anyway. So now we've come to this position where he's got, you know, a good team. I kind of leave it to them, but I still kind of give him advice on certain aspects and just say, you know what, try and work on this or try and work on that. You know what I mean? But he's come on leaps and bounds in the last few years. So, you know, I'm happy that he's taken the advice from me and many other people in the team, and we're reaping the rewards and seeing the benefits of it. So it's the same with any guy. I think I would give them that same structure with strength and conditioning, give them the advice, because sometimes if it's only your coach and you've got a manager and the manager's not really around like that, it's hard because they're not pushing you and giving you the advice you maybe need, or they don't have the time to give you that advice. It is a tricky situation when they're always busy and not able to talk to you when you need someone to talk to, or a bit of advice when you feel like, well, you know, things ain't going your way, or not just even in boxing, even if it's outside of boxing, and it's just about life, because you could, all of that aids these people, you know, because they could be down and out or feel low and in a bad place, and you just being able to talk and express themselves might be another way for them to let vent, and then they move on from that, you know what I mean? So sometimes you just need that kind of, what's the word, guardian or something like that, you know what I mean? But
Was pro boxing something that was never really for you then, or?
Do you know what? I left it pretty late, so I started, I think, so Dill started in 20, I started when I was 30 then. Yeah, so there's a 10-year gap, so I'm like 41 this year. I left it really.
41? Oh my goodness, I thought you were like 28 or something.
No, okay. 41, so I left it really, really late. So I come from like wrestling, MMA, and then Muay Thai, and then I've done a little bit of boxing. But by the time I got to boxing and I was trying to turn pro, I was about 36, and I wanted to go amateur, and they said, that's a cut-off age. And then Dill was like, hey, don't go out there and get your ass whooped, because I'm going to have to go and whoop someone else's ass. So I was like, all right, bloody hell, you know what I'll do? I'll leave it to the professionals, you know what I mean? And I'll look from a distance. Maybe I found my calling in management and being an advisor or consultant and giving people my knowledge of being around this, you know, magnificent sport, and having great nights of being out there and understanding the adrenaline, the nerves, and the factors in the build-up. What I've enjoyed, being in sparring camp in Germany with Klitschko's and all that kind of thing, I can bring to any fighter that I have. So, you know, it's quite vast at the minute. So yeah, I think that I might have found my calling there. So, you know, and I don't have to get my face bashed up and stay young forever.
Obviously, big news came out in the heavyweight boxing division. Jarrell Miller failing a drug test.
Yes.
Your brother said earlier that he pretty much predicted that would happen, because it's just unnatural for someone so big to throw as many punches and
hit the nail on the head. Listen,
especially as a heavyweight as well.
Listen to me. I've done about 3 interviews today so far, and I've said I've echoed this exact same thing. So what it is I said it is extremely unusual you find someone who's 315 pounds. And looks aesthetically like he does, not being you know rude. He's a big old lard who eats burger as he's in shoes, but I think that was kind of his gimmick to try and throw people off. But someone like that who can work from round 1 to round 12 and have the best work rate in the heavyweight division. And there's guys like you see Joshua and Dylan who are at the best possible homes of strength and conditioning in the UK facilities, and maybe don't work like that. Obviously they're different fighters, but still don't work like that. And you know, can't throw as much punches or would, you know what I mean? So it was always strange. I'm not surprised he failed. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised in the least. He failed before, like in the past, and I did think it was weird that he was such a big guy throwing that volume of shots and being able to perform that way. So I thought there was some form of aid, obviously, and what's in the dark comes to light eventually. So not surprised in the least. Got to give him credit though, he's got the wins, he's got some credible wins, and he's done really well, but I always knew there was something in the background. That's just my opinion. Hopefully no one don't kill me for that.
Yeah. Who would you like to see next? Because I mean, there's been so many names that have been mentioned. Who would you like to see? I mean, we've had Michael Hunt have been mentioned, Manuel Shah. We've had many other names. Who do you think is suitable? I mean, I know Dylan's name's been chucked around in there. Yeah,
there's a few names. Listen, obviously I'm not, you know, who AJ fights is not really my concern, but as an opinion, obviously I'd like my bro to get his opportunity, but in terms of giving an opportunity, there's only 7 weeks or 6 weeks. There's actually 4 weeks of actually training time left. Yeah. So when you're looking at the realms of it, the odds, the numbers don't match up. When you're trying to get these fights, a fight of this magnitude, you want to give yourself every possibility to have the same level playing field as AJ's had, where he's been in camp from, you know, his camp duration was 12 weeks. Yeah. So Dylan's been training, but obviously he's not been in fight preparation training. It's totally different. And then what you've got is, normally you have 4 weeks of sparring now. So this is virtually, everything would be super expedited in terms of trying to make that deadline. But most of these guys, as long as, if they're rewarded financially, I'm sure a lot of people would maybe take the opportunity to take a fight like this. You know what I mean? But they're all going to have to be rewarded handsomely. No one's going to take it on this short notice without getting paid what they believe their value is.
And also, just quickly round off, Lucas Brown against Dave Allen. I mean, I think we all pretty much know what to expect there. Who do you think will come out on top though? Because obviously it's a tough fight because they both got similar styles. They're both just going to lock horns, you would imagine. So who do you expect to come out on top in that fight?
Well, listen, if you look at the experiences with Lucas Brown, obviously he's been in there with maybe the bigger names, a former world champion of some sort. But obviously he's coming off a devastating knockout loss to my brother Whyte. He's come back, he's had a few fights, he hasn't performed the greatest. He got off the canvas last time to get up to get the stoppage room. Some said a dubious decision, maybe he should have lost. David Allen, on the other hand now, is a guy you can only like and see where he's come from. He was on the verge of being out of boxing recently, and he's come back. So, he's a UK guy, so I'm going to back Dave. I like Dave, and I'm rooting for a big, hard fight on Saturday night. I want them both to slug it out, blood, gore, sweat, and obviously give the fans what they want to see. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm rooting for him to win. So we're going to see. I think the best man on the night will win, and just credit to any of those guys. But I'm going to be rooting for the English guy.
Oh, okay. Thanks for coming to boxing.
Thanks very much, man. You too, man. Yeah, take care.